So it was a very cold, frosty night with temperatures at about -5, maybe -8 degrees Celsius. Actually, you know what? At around 10 p.m. yesterday, I pushed myself to show up from the tent and I saw the northern lights. And I pushed myself to went out and I just set up my tripod. I found a very ordinary composition with my tent. I used my headlamp to illuminate it, and you know, I've shot a time lapse. You know, maybe thank God, but Aurora did not last long. It was dancing for 30, maybe 40 minutes, and then it stopped. Even with my camera exposure, I haven't noticed anything green after that half an hour, and I decided to go back in my tent and, you know, zip in my sleeping bag. I don't know, maybe the northern lights appeared later during the night, but that's fine. What I actually realized is that my gear probably is not totally appropriate for these conditions. I mean, for temperatures like -7, -8. My sleeping bag is not as warm as it was before, and probably I need a thicker sleeping pad. Maybe self-inflatable. I actually have a self-inflatable one, but I didn't bring it with me here. And it was really difficult to keep warm this night. It's getting a bit warmer. Yeah, so nice. Okay, I'm leaving the Akademicheskaya Lake and heading towards southern Khibiny mountain pass with my whole heavy backpack. That's the descent to the saddle, to the mountain pass, southern Khibiny. Made it to the saddle. By the way, as a rescue man said, there is no avalanche hazard here so far because it's just not enough snow. But for example, in March, the avalanche hazard here in the Khibiny Mountains is usually pretty high. Descended to a valley, and now I'm heading to the rescue cabin. Having a short break here, and I'm at about 670 meters. Hey, hey! And that's where I descended from. I just spoke to a rescue man at the rescue cabin, and he gifted me this can of gas because I was kind of running out of gas, and that's really nice. That's really grateful because now I'm celebrating this with a cup of tea. Actually, a rescue man told me that it was -10 last night here at the rescue cabin location, here near the river. But I still do not believe that it was colder, something like -15 at the Akademicheskaya lake where I slept last night. I still think it was -6 or -8. I'm taking a break here at this wonderful campsite or something like that. A little bit chaotic. So guys, actually I'm starting my way back to Kirovsk. I still have 2 nights here in the Khibiny Mountains, and I want to cross 2 more mountain passes. Both of those do not have a grade, so those are non-grade mountain passes. And the first one is called, the name of the first one is Petreliusa Western or Petreliusa Западный, and the second one is Ramzaya Pass. The elevation of the first one is about 850 meters, and the elevation of the second one is about maybe 740, something like that. Because of that snow, the first one might be quite difficult to pass. I don't know, so I have an extra variant in case if I realize I don't want to cross that mountain pass. And after crossing the second of those mountain passes, which is the Ramzaya Pass, I will be in 3-4 hours of hiking from the place where all this story began. I mean from the hotel in Kirovsk, where I started my multi-day trekking in the Khibiny Mountains. And now I'm heading towards the first of those 2 mountain passes, which is Petreliusa Western Mountain Pass. And I want to set up my camp in 1-2 hours of hiking from that mountain pass. That's a pretty swampy area. It's a swamp over there, isn't it? So I've just pitched up my tent. It's about 30-35 minutes before the sunset. There is a river nearby, which name is the Petreliusa River, and I guess my mountain pass, my first mountain pass of those 2, is over there, and that's the Petreliusa Western Mountain Pass. Really wonderful camping spot. Very scenic. Yeah, it's getting colder, and I'm totally expecting a frosty night, even though it's about 380 meters here. Morning. This night was also frosty, but not as cold as the previous night at the Akademicheskaya lake. So the night was clear, but some clouds are rolling in, especially from south. It is snowing from time to time, just a little. The sun is coming up, and I'm packed. Okay, I'm leaving and heading towards Petrelius Western Mountain Pass, which is over there. Yeah, like that. That's a really beautiful grove. Birches grow. Well, I'm at about 500 meters, and the mountain pass is behind that slope. Wow, what a landscape! And there's the mountain pass. Yeah. Petrelius Western Mountain Pass. I think I need to ascend about 200 meters. The trail is not easily noticeable, but there are cairns, like this for example, and thanks to those kind of people, really, who built them, who stacked them. Ooh, yeah, I'm at the Western Petrelius Mountain Pass, which is about 850 meters. There's a bunch of footprints here. Yeah, that's really nice. So gonna take a short break here, and then we'll start my descent to the opposite side of the mountain pass. Okay, so I'm starting my descent. Well, on this side it's sort of sleeting. I guess there are positive temperatures here. Yeah, and that's where I descended from. Well, what I think is the Petrelius Western Mountain Pass doesn't look as impressive from this side as from the other, definitely. Wow. Смотрите, как камень яйцо. Смотрите-ка, камень-яйцо. The Petrelius Eastern Mountain Pass with a very steep descent. And I just want to share some of my impressions about the mountain pass. Well, definitely the ascent was more difficult than the descent because on the opposite side of the mountain pass, rocks, they have something like a layer of ice on them that makes them really slippery. By the way, it's a really interesting weather transition. On that side where I ascended, it was really cold, maybe it was freezing, but here on this side it's just much warmer, and it was sleeting. It's a huge valley surrounded by mountains, and there is no one here. I'm not calling it a day. I want to cross the second mountain pass of those two that I mentioned yesterday. This is the Ramzaya mountain pass, and actually after you cross it, you just walk and walk, you descend slowly, and eventually you come back to Kirovsk or to a hotel where I started from. Well, today I want to cross the Ramzaya mountain pass and maybe hike for an hour or two after that and camp. And tomorrow I will reach my destination, final destination, or my starting point. This is the hotel where I started. That's the Ramzaya Pass. Let's see what's on the other side. This is a pretty long gorge. Alright, that's where a descent starts. The weather is pretty harsh. Well, actually, the Ramzaya mountain pass is... it's not a mountain pass, it's more like a gorge, because it's narrow and it's pretty long, because I've been hiking through it for about 20-25 minutes, but it's going to end soon. That's where the gorge ends. Looks like autumn is giving up. There are way less leaves on trees than 5 days ago. Oh, it's red tundra again. So nice after all those boulders and snow. Whew. I've just pitched up my tent, and it's about an hour and a half of hiking till that hotel where I started. I probably have mentioned it already multiple times, I don't know, several times. And actually that hotel is the point where I can take a taxi from to get wherever I want. So here's my tent, like, oh, it's on a hill, and there is a river. This is the Poach-Muvyok river. Yeah, that's, again, it's difficult to pronounce. It's raining just a little bit, but that's fine. I guess a night is not going to be frosty. Alrighty, so I'm gonna cook my dinner and enjoy my last evening here in the Khibiny Mountains. So this is my last morning here. It's cold and cloudy. The last cup of coffee. Okay guys, so I'm leaving my last place of camping and I'm heading to Kirovsk. Bare birches. Only 5 days ago there were leaves, and somehow there is a road here and I see people. And this is the little Udyavr lake. You can get here by car pretty easily. So this is the fork, and actually in the beginning I took this road and now I came from there. So I'm walking down this road, this very wide road, and I guess it's about 1.5 kilometers left till the hotel. I'm not gonna stay in a hotel, by the way. I'm gonna take a taxi and go to the airport. Последний взгляд на Khibiny. Really hard to believe that I'm about to finish my multi-day trekking. Am I a totally different person? Well, of course not. So guys, that's it. I'm back in Kirovsk, and actually this is a hotel that I've mentioned, and that's where I was staying one night before the whole thing. Alright, I'm gonna take a taxi, and thank you for watching guys, and see you in the next one. Bye!